Okay, so I have already completed this. I'm just jumping on ahead of time to let you know I do struggle to recognize some things that are right in front of me on the pattern. Sometimes that happens. I tend to overanalyze or overlook some things. So you're going to see me trying to start this pattern a few times, not realizing the way it's worded would be obvious if I were watching as a viewer. It wasn't so obvious on my end right off the bat, and I don't know why. I can't explain the way my brain works. But before you jumped in the comments and get frustrated with me for not being able to see what was right in front of me, just bear with me. Keep watching because I do have that aha moment. I do figure it out. Okay, thank you so much for your patience with me. Truly, I can't thank you enough. Hello and welcome to Just Vintage Crochet. Let's tear into another mystery pattern. If you're new to the channel, I have a stack of patterns here that were curated by my son. I don't know what these patterns are. They come from anywhere from the 1840s to the 1970s. He has blacked out the titles, cut off the pictures, and blacked out anything that could possibly give away what the pattern is. It's a true mystery. We won't know what it is until we're done making it. Each pattern is numbered. We pull a number, we work that pattern. Okay. We have pattern number 12. Again, right on top. I'm going to have to replenish this bowl a bit. I did have to get rid of 3 patterns because 2 of them involved tatting, which I don't know how to do and I don't have the tools to even learn, and one of them required a loom. So that kind of knocked down a few of our patterns. I don't need to replenish them. I need to have Justin go through and give us some more patterns. But we have number 12 here, of course, right on top. This happens about half the time. Okay. See here, we have a Lion brand pattern. What year is this from? We don't know. Maybe it's on the picture. I'm going to assume this has a picture. It's a Lion brand. I think I only have one Lion brand pattern book, and it's going to be from like 1912 or 1910. But I'm not real familiar with what all's in it. Okay, it says here 6 skeins of Lion brand eider wool, 2 skeins 8-fold pansy Germantown, number 8 amber hook. So I'm going to look all of that up. Oh, there goes my microwave. I'm going to look all of this up and see what we are working with. Okay, so here's what I came up with. So there was no like Lion brand eider wool like for sale online. Not that I would buy it, but typically I get an idea of what something is by what people are selling on like the vintage yarn shops and stuff, and there was none. But somebody on Ravelry did post a picture of them making a baby bonnet. It's not really a bonnet. It was more like a toddler's like winter hat. Using eider wool. And so it gave me an idea of what that's supposed to look like because it had tassels and I could see the thickness, and it's about a 5 weight. So I have these 2 yarns here. This one is a wool. I'm probably going to use this. That's what this is here. I'm probably going to go ahead and use this. The reason I grabbed these was so that, you know, if you wanted to follow along and you didn't have something like this is a 5 weight. Maybe you have something like this. A lot of us have this, and this is also a 5 weight. So this will work as well. And from what I was able to figure out, they're talking about a 5mm hook whenever they say a number 8 amber. I do have a vintage hook conversion chart that includes bone, celluloid, amber, and steel. So, oh, and plastic. So amber and wood were about the same size in the early 1900s, and it equals out to a 5mm hook. Okay, so I brought these out for reference. I don't know why I brought all 3 of them out. I just don't understand me sometimes. Okay, we're going to work with this. I did pick this up off of Amazon. All right, I was going to use this. I was using this in the yellow set that I made, the hat and scarf set, the Tunisian, and it was too small. But I just unraveled it. It was still quite usable. Okay, now says here we're going to chain 4, make ring, make 8. Now this is from 1912 from what I saw on Ravelry. This book is from 1912 because the person's listing said from the Lion Brand Book of Worsted Work, 1912. So this is also a U.S. brand. These are going to be U.S. written patterns. Make 8 half double crochet in the ring. Do not join. Okay, so we're going to need a stitch marker. Oh, there's my mouse for me doing my investigation. Okay, so let's just start with chaining 4 into a ring. I'm probably going to go ahead and work a magic circle, but just chain 4 and slip stitch into your first chain if you don't want to work a magic circle. And we'll start with these 8 half double crochets. Okay, so I can teach you really quick how to make a magic circle. Peace sign, slightly peace sign. Pull the thread, the yarn towards you, away from you, towards you, but crisscrossing, okay? So towards you, away from you and under, and then towards you again, but crisscrossing. Come down here and hold everything together. Take your hook upside down. I like to call that the smile. The smile upside down. Hook your furthest away bottom thread. Pull up while twisting. Hold on to everything. Tension your yarn and chain 1. Okay, it wants us to do 8 half double crochets. I should probably start with a yarn over. So yarn over first. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will be right back. There is my 8 done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's my first one there. Okay. Do not join. First round. Draw up a loop in the first stitch. 1 in the second stitch. Yarn over through 3 loops on the hook. Chain 1. Okay. I'm going to go into my first stitch. Draw up a loop. Go into the second stitch. Draw up a loop. 3 loops on the hook. Draw through all 3 at once. I'm going to go ahead and mark this first stitch made. Okay. Second stitch. 1 in second stitch. Wait. Drop it. Okay, yes, yarn over through all 3. Okay, then chain 1, draw up a loop in the same place as last loop. So chain 1. Now into the last stitch we worked into, draw up a loop. Wait, did I? Place as last loop was taken, 1 loop in the next, yarn over, take off. Oh, yarn over, and I'm assuming they mean yarn over and take off the hook. The hook? Why did I say it like that? The hook. Okay, yarn over and take off, or pull through all 3 loops. Chain 1, repeat. Okay, so we're going to repeat this all around. Chain 1, back into the same stitch we just worked in, then into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull through all 3, chain 1, go back into the same stitch, next stitch over, pull through all 3, chain 1, same, next, pull through, chain 1. I do hope that this is enough. I'm not sure what we're making here. Let's see how many rounds. 15 rounds. 15 rounds. Quills. Quills. Germantown. That's going to be a thinner yarn. Germantown. There are different types of Germantown. 8-fold Germantown. That's going to be like a Aran weight or a worsted weight. So I need to get black. No, I don't know what that is. Okay. Looks like we may be working 15 rounds. 15th round? Okay. I think we have enough yarn for 15 rounds of however big this is going to get. Hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. We probably do. Okay, here we go. Same stitch I just worked. Now the last stitch of the round. I'm going to go ahead and chain 1. And let's close that center a bit more. There we go. Round 2, like the first row. See, y'all, this has to clear up our debate. They use round and row like nothing. Okay. Third round, same as first round. Then draw up a loop in each of the next 2 stitches, yarn over. All right, let's worry about second round, like the first. So we're not going to do any increasing. I can only assume. It doesn't seem that way. So I'm going to go into the last stitch I just worked into, and then where my stitch marker is, that's my first stitch. Pull through, chain 1. I'm going to mark that first stitch. Okay, let's just do this really quick. Or not. That's the chain 1. It's not so easy to work back into. Maybe that is the increase. Oh, a little light bulb just went off. I think the chain 1 is the increase. The chain 1 from the previous round is acting like a whole new stitch. I think. I don't know. Okay, I am going to go ahead and finish this off camera because it's going to go a little slower than I thought. I thought I could just do it really, really fast, but I cannot. So I will be right back. Okay, that's round 3, and here we go. 4th and 5th rounds like the 3rd, which is like the 1st. Okay, so let's work rounds 4 and 5. Hopefully making these looser chain 1s did me a favor. Yes. Yes, it did. Mark that first stitch. Okay, loose chain 1. There we go. All right, I'm going to work rounds 4 and 5. Oh yeah, that's so much easier getting into those chains like this. And I will be back whenever we are ready for round 6. I've never worked in the round like this before, so I'm learning something new today. I'll be right back. I'm starting to experience some overpacking, so now I'm questioning if we are supposed to be working into the chain 1. So I'm going to undo everything back down to the 3rd row, 2nd or 3rd row. Oh, and I don't mean to hit you. I lost my first stitch too. So I'm just going to start over actually. I'm going to have to because I lost my first stitch. I think I don't know. I think that's my first stitch right there. Yeah, it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work this first round. Or wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the first round? Half double crochets? Is that what they mean whenever they say like the first round? Do they mean half double crochets? Oh, no. Maybe I was reading it wrong. Oh, okay. Do not join. First round. Okay, no, it says right here, clear as bell. First round, we're going to draw up a loop in the first stitch, one in the second stitch, yarn over through 3 on the hook, chain 1, draw up a loop in the same place as the last loop. 1 loop in the next, yarn over, take off. Okay. Take off 3 stitches. Okay. Oh, take off 3 stitches. I missed that the first time I read it. Who's shocked? Nobody? Okay, 1, 2, yarn over through all 3. Chain 1, same stitch, next stitch over, chain 1. Let me just do these really quick. Because I'm definitely getting a lot of heavy overpacking. Did I chain 1? I did not. And I don't know that it's meant to be overpacked, but it seems like maybe it's not. Okay, here we go. Last stitch. All right. Second round, like the first row. So I think I'm going to avoid the chain ones and see what happens. Okay, so here is a stitch. Here is a chain 1. Now that's going to make it too small, I think. Same stitch. That's my chain 1. Here's my next regular stitch. Yeah, that's just curling it in. So that's not it. It surely is overpacking though. That much I can tell you is for real, for real. So here's the chain 1. They aren't easy to work in. Make that loose. Well, heck. Seemed like it was making sense until I got to the 4th row, and it just wants, no matter how much I tried to flatten it out, I'd flatten it out on this side and it would bump up on this side, which means it's overpacked. So I'm not really sure how to remedy that. Seems all right this first couple of rounds. Put a loop in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch. Chain 1, repeat. Draw up a loop in the first stitch, 1 in the second, yarn over through 3, chain 1, repeat. It just keeps repeating the same instructions. Make a round of single crochet, do not join. Turn and make 2 more rounds in single crochet, always skipping the first stitch. That's interesting. 15th round, take up a loop in the first space, 1 in the second space. Making spaces. Make a round of single crochet, do not join. Turn, make 2 more rounds in single crochet, always skipping the first stitch, but not skipping every other stitch. Okay, let me work. I'm going to work my way up to round 3 off camera. I'll be right back. Starting to get overpacking. I'm on round 3. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm just going to keep going. I don't want to start over again. So I get maybe it's supposed to overpack. Yeah, it's already overpacking. But here we go. Okay, round 4. Same stitch. Next stitch over. Mark that first stitch. Okay, I will again. I will be back for round 6. It's gonna be overpacked when I do come back. All right, I'll be right back. I wonder, is this the first row? 8 half double crochet in a ring. Second round, like first row. Third round, same as first round, and then they describe it. Do you think maybe in the second round, I'm supposed to work this like the first round with the half double crochets, and that would calm down the, oh, I lost my starting stitch again. Yeah, I guess I'm starting over again. Dadgummit. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I think this is what they're calling the first row, the 8 half double crochet, and I think this is the first round. Maybe they are using that language intentionally. Maybe that will help calm down some of the overpacking. So yeah, I'm starting over again. That's okay. It's never far enough in for this to be a, nightmare. Just do these really quick all around. Okay. So now let's try second round like first row, meaning half double crochets. I did chain 1 before I made that half double crochet. It's wanting to curl up. Nope. God, I hate working in the slip stitches. I really do. It's really wanting to curl up. Okay. Now third round, same as first round. So I'm gonna chain 1. See if I can't curb some of that curling. Go into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch. Mark that. Into the same stitch, into the next stitch, chain 1, same stitch, next stitch, chain 1. Okay. Fourth and fifth rounds like third round. Third round being like the first round. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and work rounds 4 and 5 really quick and see how that turns out. Still no improvement. All I'm getting is overpacking. I really do wonder if I'm supposed to be not working in the chain ones. So this was my first row worked on the half double crochets. So I don't know. I'm skipping over the chain ones. And I'm just working into the stitches. Let's see what happens. I feel like I've just, this keeps wanting to pop out. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if what I'm doing is right. That just keeps wanting to pop out. That just doesn't seem right. I'll be right back. I'm going to try this again. I got rid of all the half double crochets. So now I'm just going to skip over the chain ones and work into the stitches. Skip over the chain one. I do hope at some point I get this right. That's a chain, isn't it? Yeah, that's a chain one right there. Okay. Repeat. Same as first round. Okay, so that was round 2. This will make for round 3. This just doesn't seem right either. No, it's not right. I'll be right back. Yes, I know. It was in front of my face the whole time. You all have been yelling it at me. Third round, draw up a loop in each of the next 2 stitches, not into the same stitch you just worked, and then that's why I was overpacking. Okay, here we go. I'm on the 3rd round now, so I'm going to draw up a stitch in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Now I'm going to draw up a stitch into the next 2 stitches again. 1, 2. This is why it was overpacking. I wasn't paying attention. But I think I got it now. Yes. Let's see how it ends. Oh, it ends just right. Okay, that's round 3. Draw up a loop in each of the next 2 stitches, yarn over 3, chain 1, draw up a loop in the... Oh, wait, no, it says same stitch. But this worked out so good. It didn't overpack or nothing. Like the third round. 6th round, draw up a loop in the first stitch, 1 in the second, yarn over, through 3, chain 1, repeat. Why does it keep saying the same instructions over and over again? Look, it worked. I overlooked that again. Same stitch, 1 in the next. But it worked. No overpacking. Repeat from every other stitch. It's every other stitch. Draw up a loop in the same place. Okay, so this one was every stitch. Yes, so round 1 is every stitch. Round 2 is every stitch. Round 3, it's every other stitch. We go into the same stitch. Okay, so this first stitch is correct. We went into each of the first 2 stitches. All right. Now we go ahead and go back into the same stitch and then the next stitch. Now repeat from here. We draw up a loop in each of the next 2 stitches. Now we go into the same stitch and then the next stitch. Now we go into the next 2 stitches independently. Now into the same stitch and the next stitch. Aha! Aha! Dadgummit, I got it. Yeah, that one. Okay, so now the next 2. Now the same and the next. Now the next 2. Okay. It was my fault, obviously it was my fault for overlooking that little important symbol. Doggone it. Now which one did I just do? Same stitch. Okay. Same, next. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. That is better. Okay, 4th and 5th rounds like the 3rd. So for rounds 4 and 5, we're going to do that again where we work every other stitch is going to be our first loop in the same stitch. So I just chained 1. Now I go into the next stitch and into the next stitch over. I did end with a into the same stitch. Okay, so that was the next 2 stitches. Now we go into the same stitch and the next, chain 1, now the next and the next, chain 1, same, next, next, and next. Don't ask me why I word things the way I do. Thank you. Okay, so there are rounds 4 and 5, and 6th round, draw up a loop in the first stitch, 1 in the second, yarn over through 3, chain 1, repeat. So round 6, we're going to do that in every round. So that's going to be a huge increase. So I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to go into my, should I just start with an increase right into my same stitch? Maybe, yeah. Maybe so. Okay. Next stitch over. And then mark that. All right, so I'm going to work this in every single stitch instead of every other stitch. So that's going to give us a lot more stitches to work in. Okay, so I will be back whenever I have finished round 6. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Make 5 more rounds like the 6th round. Fasten with a slip stitch and turn. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it's just repeating this until round 11. So I'm on round 6 now, so I will be back whenever I'm at round 11 unless something catastrophic happens, and I'll jump in and let you know. I am concerned that this is going to make it curl. So we shall see. It's already curling anyways, even without that, so we'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, made it to the 11th row. I finished the 11th row, actually. 12th round. Make a round of single crochet. Do not join. Turn and make 2 more rounds in single crochet, always skipping the first stitch. Okay, so I did join with the slip stitch like it said, then turn. All right, always skipping the first stitch. So, okay. And make a round of single crochet. I'll be right back. I'm going to work this all around. Okay, there's my first round of single crochet. And then it says, do not join. Turn and make 2 more rounds of single crochet, skipping the first stitch. It says, do not join. So then just like this, so leave that open. Turn and make 2 more rounds. So I can only assume when I get to the end of this row here, I'm just going to turn and come back up this way. So that'll be rows 13 and 14. So I'll go ahead and work those off camera. And if you want to follow along, basically what I had just said, come up this way, don't join, but turn and come back around this way. Okay, I'll be right back. Wait, it said to skip the first stitch, didn't it? I did not skip the first stitch. I went directly into the first stitch. Okay, jumping over this way. There we go. All right. Skipping the first stitch. So when we come back up this way, we'll skip the first stitch, probably join right over here and come back this way. I'll be back. Okay, I have been gone for 2 days, gone from this video anyways. I've been home. As some of you know, if you watch my Just Karina channel, I had this CO vid a few weeks ago and I felt good, and then I came down with a stomach bug 2 days ago. So I've just been sleeping more than I have been awake for the last 2 days. I'm feeling better. I did my nails, which really makes me feel better because these are so pretty and so springtime, and they give me so much joy to look at. And now I'm ready to get back into our mystery pattern right where we left off. Thank goodness I kept track of my rows. I know right where we're at. We are at round 15. So here we go. Yeah, I just, it was, Anyway, it says take up a loop in the first space. Now, it doesn't say to turn anywhere. I am assuming that I need to turn, though, because they're creating an opening here for a reason. They wouldn't want me to just close it, I don't think, and closing it would create a strange bump. So in the first space, they're not saying stitch, but to be honest, with single crochet, each space is the stitch. I'm so confused. Take up a loop in first space, 1 in second space, yarn over through 3, chain 1, repeat, skip the first stitch on the left side of the, oh no, it's a hat. Is this a child's hat? Are we making a child's hat? Oh, I wish that would have been blacked out. Break yarn and commence in 6th space from the beginning of the round. Make 8 cluster stitches. So I can confidently assume that the cluster stitches are what we have been working, but I don't know what they mean by space. That's where it's getting me. I'm going to assume they mean stitch. I don't know what else to believe, because with a single crochet, there is no space like between the stitches. It just is a stitch. As you can see, there's no space. And they want me to do this. It says here, repeat, skip the first stitch on the left side of the hat. Well, assuming that this is the right side out, this would be the left side of the hat over here for me. This is the right. Unless this is the back of the hat. If that's the case, then this is the, I don't know. See, this is where a picture would come in handy, as I don't know what is the front and what is the back. I don't know. You know, the yarn is already attached, so perhaps the left side, perhaps this is the left side then, I don't know. I really don't know without a picture. I just don't know. See here, turn. Here they're saying to turn. I wish this were a little more clear. Take up a loop in the first space. That's what's getting me. What space? Well, here's some space. No, I'm just being a smart butt. Take up a loop in the first space. Here, first stitch. I don't know what they mean. And please stop yelling at me. Take up a loop in the first space, 1 in the second space. I'm just going to assume they mean stitch. So first stitch, second stitch, and we do our usual. Okay. Yarn over, repeat. Skip the first stitch on the left side of the hat. Break yarn and commence. I wonder if I'm supposed to be skipping the first stitch here, even though it says to go through the first stitch. I went through the very, very last stitch here. So I wonder if they're trying to create a gradual decrease, then maybe I should skip the very, very first stitch and do it like this. Because I did work the very, very technically first stitch right here whenever I ended the round. So then I will end right here. So, okay. Chain 1 and repeat. This is, I can only assume, you know, I'm doing my best. If I don't get it figured out, well, then I didn't get it figured out. It's okay. It's the journey, right? It's the journey that counts. Okay, now if you hear any background talking, the fellas are sort of having a movie time in the back room, a movie night in the back room. There is a bit of beer and foodstuffs involved, so they might get a little, they're watching a comedy, so just to warn you, they might get a little loud, a little laughy, but it's good vibes over here. So that's not a bad thing. There's good vibes in the air. But I hope that they will try to be a little bit quiet. Okay, so it says to do this. Skip, okay, repeat. Skip the first stitch on the left side of the hat. Break yarn. Skip the first. Well, it's starting a repeat right here. And this repeat could end here. It might be covered up. No. Well, where does the repeat end? Or is this just a notation? Is this little star here, this asterisk, just for a notation? Not necessarily a follow within, because I'm not seeing another one. Skip the first stitch. So is that to skip the last stitch? Break yarn, commence in 6th space from the beginning of the round. Okay, I'm assuming I need to go all the way around to the second to last stitch, and that's where I need to stop and then cut my yarn and rejoin it in the 6th stitch. In the 6th space, or I'm just going to say stitch, there is no space really, from the beginning of the round, then make 8 cluster stitches. So maybe we're making a brim. Maybe we're making a brim. That's kind of different right there. I'm not sure what that's about, but okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to work this all the way to the second to last stitch. It looks like this is going to end right where it needs to. So my last cluster stitch ends right like that. Okay, and then it says to break yarn. Okay, I'm going to turn, or should I work like this the whole time? Maybe I'm supposed to work like this the whole time. 6 space from the beginning of the round, right? Yes. Okay, so keeping the right side of the work facing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now my dog is chewing on a piece of cardboard. So there's just going to be maybe noises. The reason I say that is because somebody commented that they could hear my stomach growls. So I assume that my phone's mic is quite sensitive. Which I got, if you commented that, if you're watching this, I did get quite a giggle out of that. You heard my stomach growl and you thought it was you, then you had to rewind and realize it was me. Okay, make 8 cluster stitches. So I'm gonna go ahead and start into the first stitch. It's not telling me to skip the first stitch. So here we go. 1, next 2 stitches over is 2. Next 2 stitches over is 3. I'll be right back when I get to 8. That is 8 done, and it took us pretty close to the halfway mark. I would say maybe 1 or 2 more stitches would have brought us right to the halfway mark. Here we go. We are almost to the halfway mark. I would say, yeah, maybe another stitch or 2 would have brought us to the halfway mark. Okay, make 8 cluster stitches, turn, make 8 in next row. Well, now this is going to build up just kind of off to the side. Okay, turn, make 8 in next row. Starting with the very first, I can only assume. I can really only assume. 1. Okay, I'll be back whenever I get to the end of this portion here, finishing the 8 stitches, 8 clusters. Turn and make 8. It just, okay, I'm going to assume they mean the clusters. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm 1 stitch short. So I have to go into the same stitch and then into the next, because I was one stitch short. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no. 1, 2. Well, maybe they didn't want me to do that, or they would have told me to. Did I make 8 to begin with? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that's 8 right there, right? And then turn. And 1. It's hard to tell the clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only have 7 now. I have 1 stitch here, and I have to jump over. Maybe that's what they intend. Fasten with a slip stitch and break yarn. Okay. I did have to go over a little bit. This is, if this is a brim, it's very strange as it's not centered unless this side is meant to be used for something. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Make 1 row all around. I'm going to assume that says hat at this point. That's it? Make 1 row all around. What do I do with this open part here? I need an image. I need to know what I'm doing is correct. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. But then why this? Why this bit right here? Maybe it goes down? I don't know. Okay. I'm going to make 1 row all around, and let's see what we do next. I'm going to start. I mean, do I work in here? I just don't know what to do. Make 1 row all around. 1 row of what? Regular stitches or of the clusters? Quills. So we'll be making quills. Wire the quill on the underside. Cover with yarn. Crochet a band of black 8-fold Germantown for around the maybe hat. Place the quills on the left side. Maybe the quills go here. Okay, I need the picture at this point. I just don't know what it is I need to be doing. I wonder if this is like a little baby's head. It's kind of cute if it is. Oh my gosh. Make 8 in the next row. Fasten. Make 1 row all around. Make 1 row. It doesn't say make 1 row of single crochet. It just says make 1 row. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Let's uncover this before I make quills. See, it specifically does call for single crochets when it needs to, so I wonder if they want 1 row of clusters all around. I almost don't want to uncover it yet. I want to see how close I can get before I uncover it. All right, I'm going to start here and make 1 row of clusters all around. I don't know if that is correct. Obviously, I don't know if any of this is correct, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm so afraid of, why I'm so afraid to not get these right, but it absolutely terrifies me. Okay, there and there. All right, I'm going to make 1 row of these cluster stitches all around, and I will be right back. I'll let you know what I wind up doing, and I think I'm going to leave this part alone. Actually, I am. I'm going to leave this part alone, and I'm just going to go all the way around here and stop right here. I'll be right back. Okay, now let's go ahead and make the quill. I finished working the final round of the cluster stitches all around. Now I'm going to use this, what they would call Germantown. This is just a number 4 Aran or worsted weight yarn. And the same hook because it doesn't say to use different hooks. And truly, honestly and truly, I don't know that I'm using any of the correct material at all. But okay, I do know though that 8-fold Germantown is basically a Aran weight or a worsted weight. 24, let's chain 24, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be right back. 24 chains. Now it says 1 single crochet in 2 first stitches. I'm going to work in the back bumps. So in the second stitch from the hook, 1 single crochet, and then the next chain over, 1 single crochet. All right, 1 double crochet in the next 20 stitches, drawing each stitch longer toward the center, then shorter again toward the end. Finish with a single crochet in the last 2 stitches. Make other half the same. Okay, so 20 double crochet. You know what? I'm not going to have enough. I'm going to have to chain 25 because I'm skipping my first stitch. There we go. Now I will have 24 chains to work into because they want 1, 2, then 20, and then the last 2 stitches 1, 2. That's 24. I would have only had 23 if I didn't add an extra chain. Okay, so drawing each stitch longer toward the center. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here is the center. So I will know. I get what they're going for. They want you to create this. I mean, we could do that with treble crochets, double crochets, you know, but this is the way that they're asking for. So I'll make these 2 stitches the same. And then the next stitch, I'll go slightly longer. So let me draw up a little bit. Go slightly longer. And the same for the next, slightly longer. And then for the next, slightly longer again, drop a little more. And then the next, the same. And then the next, slightly longer still. There we go, even more. And then the same for the next. And then the next 2 are going to be the longest. Now I'll come down a little bit as I go back toward the other end. Making each 2 stitches the same. And then these 2 will just be normal double crochets. And then 2 single crochets into the last. So that's what I have there. Okay, I'm going to repeat this going down. What I'm going to actually do is work an extra stitch right here in the tip just to get me over to the other side. And now I'm going to work in the first 2 stitches, single crochet here and 1 single crochet here. There we go. And then start with my double crochets. My first 2 will be just normal. And then I'll continue to do exactly what I did here. I'll be right back. Okay, So just finished, and I do think that this would look better if some trebles were incorporated. So going from singles to half doubles to doubles to trebles, then doubles, then half doubles down to singles. I really think that would create a more unified, firm. This is very loose and floppy, but they did say to use a wire, which I do not have. I'm not able to do that for you guys. Make other half. I did that. Wire the quill on the underside, cover it with yarn, crochet a band of black 8-fold Germantown around the, I'm going to assume that's hat. Place the quills on the left side. So let's go ahead and unmask this vandal. Place the quills on the left side. Well, I don't really know what is the front. I mean, we have this sort of peak here. So perhaps the quills go here on the left side, like this, and would stick up like this. And all right, let's look. Let's just take a look-see. I am going to need my tweezers or something. Don't tear. Okay. Eider, that's the wool. Woman's, that's going to be woman's, guaranteed. No? Oh, I was wrong. Wool. Eider, a wool hat. Okay. I always thought it was going to say women's. I'm like, oh my God, we made it way too small. Maybe this is a child's hat. This would fit a small child, a baby. Let me get a picture. I have to run down the hall, which is going to annoy Justin a little bit because, you know, he's one of the fellas back there having a beer and watching a movie. So I'll be right back. I was way off. I was way off, especially on material. Way off on material. The feather turned out okay. I'm going to show you in just a moment. The hat doesn't really look anything like the picture. This is very, very fun. Eider wool hat. This is very, very fun. You can see this part here confuses me. I don't understand this part. I don't understand why we have a peak of 8 stitches here. I don't see, well, maybe that's this part right here. Oh, wait a minute. Let's look real close. Perhaps this is the split. And the 8 stitches is still throwing me off completely. There, I don't understand why the 8 stitches. It looks like it's curled up all around. Look how thick that yarn is. Yeah, we were definitely supposed to be using some thick, thick, thick stuff. And the hook conversion chart I used was way off the mark. Way off. My guess is we're supposed to be using a hook like this. Okay, something like this, I believe, is a size as a 12 millimeter or 14 millimeter. It's massive. Like here is would fit a 10 millimeter. No, not a prayer's chance. So this is like a 12 or a 14 millimeter. I think we're supposed to be using something like this and some super thick, thick, thick yarn. Maybe even, I mean, look how big that yarn is compared to her eyeball. Look how big just 1 stitch is compared to the eyeball. If you want to look at like ratios, look at the size of that stitch compared to her eye or her nose. This whole stitch is the size of the tip of her whole nose. So maybe even 2 6-weight yarns held together would have worked. 6-weight. Yabba dabba, that's big. You can see where their fluffy stitches here are bubbling up. I really think that a different way of making those quills would look better because it doesn't really look like a quill. It just looks like a banana or...
Even though happiness is hard to find.
Excuse me?
Happiness.
Oh, happiness.
Don't tell me you don't see it. It's not inappropriate to point out the things that look obvious, okay, Miss Ma'am? I mean, I'm not trying to get gross, but it does. Mute this part if there's kids in the room. But I don't like this quill. That's dirty. The hat is very fun and cool. So I'm going to ask some of you to try this. See if you can get your hands on some 6-weight yarn and double them up and make this hat. And share it with me, and I will share it in the community post. I see what they mean about the black band, okay? Yeah, you want to put a black band around that portion there. I don't know why it's coming up like this. Let's look at it says here, crochet a band of black 8-fold Germantown around I'm going to assume that says hat, place quills on left side. So it doesn't really explain why this is coming up like this. It doesn't even go all the way around. Look at that. The black band doesn't go all the way around the hat at all. It's just right here. So perhaps it's maker's choice. I find this quill to be obnoxious, so
This is a pepperoni.
It's obnoxious.
I would definitely do the quills different. Again, what I would do is 2 singles and then work half doubles and then doubles. And once you get to the middle, work like 4 trebles and then your doubles and some half doubles and down to your singles. That's what I would do with the quill if you want to avoid something obnoxious. Why does that look like that? I'll stop. Okay. It's dirty. It's naughty. So yes, make this. I'm going to hold the pattern up for you so that you can make this and then share the picture with me in my email, which is down in the description box below. There's that. Here's this portion here. There we go. I have to get it all in screen for you. I'm sorry. Okay. Then here is this portion. Okay. And then the quills, the obnoxious phallus. Look, we're all adults here. It's fun. And I know we're all adults here because I know how to read my channel demographics. I have 0 people from 13 to 20. Everybody is over 25 that watches my channel. And the majority of you are over 45. So we're all adults here. It's okay to point out that this looks more like a quill than what Miss Ma'am is advertising. Anyways, make this, okay? Make this and share it with me. And in our next mystery video, we will be doing a community mystery pattern. I'm so excited, okay? We could almost call this a prequel to the community mystery pattern because I am sort of putting out a call to action here. I really hope that some of you make this and share it with me. I'm going to be really happy to share that in the community post, okay? Just give me permission to use your username or the first initial of your name, or if you're comfortable with just your first name, but some way to identify you so that we can give you proper credit. Okay, make this because I'm excited to see what you guys came up with. I came up with a PC version, a baby hat with a PC quill. Yeah, and really, I mean, they did not put the black band all around. So I'm saying it doesn't matter what they say to do in these patterns. It's maker's choice. So you decide. Really get creative. I'd love to see what you guys come up with, okay? I'll see you in the next one. Bye.